Okay.
Loves my
Yeah,
cat.
and then do I?
Yeah, she does.
Microphone.
You're so demanding.
I am sometimes, sorry.
Cats are
All
Actually, you
right.
just have a good memory.
I was like,
I
oh,
know.
look at us. Yeah,
And now
it's
we're
so
going
funny.
live.
Because I know we've been live for a few minutes
Take that,
now, I'm
honey,
sure.
honey. Yeah,
Yeah,
that right
there you go.
There you go. There you go. Learning the new
There we
system. Does it say live?
Not yet.
Okay,
Did you hit it?
Yes.
There we go.
There we
Now you
go.
can go back. Look
There we
at
go.
True handling it.
There you
I
go.
know, he's the bomb.
I know he set up everything pretty much all on his own today. I'm telling you,
Right?
these kids.
We got the sofa together.
The sofa, perfect.
There we go. Got the right
Appreciate you.
cards.
Appreciate you, True Davis.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Appreciate all the work that you're doing.
Even if you are shorter than me.
Oh,
Yes.
and taller than me.
So welcome. Oh,
we're here again
wow.
on this sprinkly day.
We are. It's a
sprinkly
little
Arizona
rainy
day.
here. A little rainy.
We do get rain.
Yeah.
I mean, come
I
on.
mean, that does happen here in Phoenix.
You're lucky I came out though. I was just telling Tara, like, I don't
Yeah.
usually come out on a rainy day. It's like, even when I was a kid, you would try to call in sick on a rainy because I love to just stay in pajamas and then get a book and like cuddle up and just like chill out on a rainy day.
And there are a few types of weather that Arizonans will talk about. Well, Phoenicians, I should
Let's say
say.
Phoenicians, yes.
When it's over 110, we'll let you know.
Yes.
And
We
if
will
sun
lie.
falls from the sky,
Yes. Hallelujah.
hallelujah, unless you're driving.
Oh, yeah.
Because
That's right. We don't like
you
to
know,
drive in there, right? That's why we stay home in pajamas.
That's why we stay home, because there's
Jeannie.
people who drive
That's why
who
we
can't
call
drive in
in.
this. There's just
We
it's
call
just the truth. Yeah.
I know. But I came out just to be with you on the sofa
Aw, thank
and
you,
for all of
honey.
my peeps that I knew would be here.
I
So.
appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Thanks for showing up.
You're welcome.
Ah,
No,
so
that's
we
just
are
Thankful.
here at the Unleash Your Life Studios.
Michelle is
and-
not though.
Right.
She's in
Michelle
India.
is not. She's
She's
still
in
in
India.
India. Oh, let's get that out of
What
my
in the world in
You know,
India?
right. At
That
the-
woman.
at
You're gonna
the-
want to be here at
Gandhi
whatever she's got
Ashram.
going on next week because she's gonna talk about it. So if you're not in the best year yet,
No, it's in
What's
her
it?
classes. It's
Oh.
in our P3 classes.
No.
She's doing that free workshop
On Monday night.
The
Say
29th.
again. Okay,
Yes.
Monday night, the 29th, go to the website at unleashyourlife.us, sign up for her workshop.
Yes, it's for positive intelligence, correct?
But I bet
Yes.
she's gonna talk about India. I'm just saying.
I
Because
doubt
it's a
that
big learning lesson with this.
I doubt that
trip.
she can't talk
Right,
about
there
it.
it is.
Yeah, like
Because there was a
We
big
know her.
thing. That whole process was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah.
And at the 11th hour, she's like, okay, now I guess I am going to India.
It's so funny. She was on Reverend Sherry's show, Global Focus, on affiliated New Thought Network, and nope, I said that wrong. What is it? New Thought Media.
Media.
New
Yes.
Thought Media. I was like, I got
And
to
if
answer
you want to
in
know what that is, Jeannie's going to put a link to that in the comments.
Yes, I
love how I always
will.
assign her links to put in the
Right, I
comments.
do. Hi. And so, but she was on Dr. Sherry's show, Global Focus, that Tuesday.
Sharing
After- Yeah, Sherry Johnson. As soon as everything got settled, so she shares the story on
Okay.
there. So
All right.
I'll send
Maybe
that
a link
in
to
the
that,
link for
yeah,
that.
too, because it's a great story. But man,
Right.
talk about if you don't
Faith,
have the faith,
faith.
hold on your practice on that.
I'm
Ooh.
serious.
Mhm.
So we're located at Unleash Your Life Studios at 7220 North 16th Street, Building 1A, and you will see
But
our ladies on the door, so you
Yeah.
don't need that part. Phoenix, Arizona 85020. I love that I know the zip
Sunday,
code here.
Sunday.
Sunday.
just so you know, I am drinking hot cocoa.
Yeah, I'll try not to
Coffee.
make that come out your nose.
No, don't. That's her goal. I want you all to know
Yes.
her goal is to do that to me.
Yeah, that
It's
actually,
not happening.
that's always my goal, is to create enough laughter to where either, there's always some fluid,
Oh my
right?
god.
It's either coming out your nose or.
I know. Wow, we have got a big crew in here today.
There
I'm
we
so
go.
excited on a
See?
rainy Sunday.
Look,
See
look,
you all.
look, we got
Wow,
more people coming in on a
I'm
rainy
so
Sunday.
excited.
You didn't miss a thing.
No, we And you're never late.
That's
You're
right.
never
That,
late.
that is the other thing.
Don't ever feel like, oh, we're gonna be late. We can't go. Like, no, just
Exactly,
come in here.
just
We're
come
never
in.
late. Never late.
That's another reason why we turned our studio to face this way,
Right.
so that people didn't feel like they were walking right in front of us and they could
Yeah,
come
like
in.
no,
yeah.
we know you're either coming. Sometimes you guys come from other churches. That's why we did it at 11:11. We wanted you to be able to attend whatever other church you are already going to in the morning and come to us. Sometimes it's raining,
Yes.
and Arizonans don't drive well in the rain.
And that's what I
Or
said.
sometimes you were like me, going, I really want to stay home in my pajamas, but
You're
there's
still
still
doing it
Sundays,
anyway.
and you wait
Yeah.
till the last second to get ready, and then you came. That's fine,
Right?
I
There you
love
go.
this lipstick that you're wearing. Is
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, with the glasses and
Right,
the cool
and my
earrings.
matching earrings, I don't think people online can see, but
I'm
my
sorry,
earrings
I can't
match my glasses.
You'll have to be in person.
Yes, to notice that.
All right, we're all wild today.
Okay,
I feel,
are you gonna-
I feel the.
You feel the energy?
I feel so much energy.
See, we might have to give them a meditation to put them to sleep. They're all wound up over
Can you
here.
all hear the room? My goodness,
I mean,
so
there's
fun.
like buzzing over here.
I know.
So are you gonna press it?
I can praise him.
All
I
righty.
think so anyway.
All
I'm
right.
gonna try.
We give it a shot.
I feel buzzy too. Oh, so the best thing for all that buzzing is some deep breaths. Let's take a deep breath together. And just let it all out. Just shake it all out. And as we come together, let's let go of everything that's happened before this moment. Let's release that in the breath. Let's let it go. And in the next breath, let's let go of everything we know is coming after this time together. Let's just know it's going to be there. It's not going anywhere. Just release it. And let's come into this present, precious moment, recognizing it in the breath, feeling the connection in the room, recognizing there is only one power, there's only one presence, there's only one source, first cause. There's only God. And that energy, that source, that first cause is love. It is only love. And each one of us is made of that God stuff. Therefore, each one of us is the perfect, unique manifestation of love. We are each the result of that first cause. We are the effect. We are love. And from that place of knowing my truth, I speak my word into the law, knowing that as I do, I set the law of God in motion for the highest and best for this time together, for each one here present, for everyone hearing the sound of my voice and beyond. I know that as each one of us lets go of what has come before this moment and releases what's coming up after, and we come into this present time together, we each receive what is ours to receive. We allow that divine guidance and then that divine wisdom to show us what is ours, to have our ears open, our hearts open, our minds open, to letting in what is shared on the sofa, what is shared between each other, to let in the laughter, the joy, the connection, the oneness that we are. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so thankful that we have this time, that we have shown up to be here together. And so I let it go, knowing and trusting that it is already done in perfect divine right order. And together we say, and so it is.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So here we are. And so today, everybody should have received their card that's in the room. I am surrounded by love is our topic for today. And earlier, Sue had said, not a lot of people get to say that.
Oh.
You know, and that's so true. And so it's so awesome to have a tribe. that and a family and an experience of love surrounding you. And if you're one of those people that do not experience that, that might be another invitation to bring you to us, because we would love to love on you. Absolutely.
Agreed, and a great reason why we are working on the Real Love book starting today after service. If you are not going to be able to be here today, it's still okay to join us next time, but this book will really help with that love, that real love that we all want. And if you're not feeling like you're surrounding it, there's a lot of different reasons for that. And so we'd love to help through
Absolutely.
our Sunday services, but also we are looking at that directly through the Real Love book. So that starts today.
I have a reading.
What?
I
Have
know.
a reading.
I do have a
Love it
reading.
about you.
So today's reading is about, guess what?
Love.
Love. And it comes from the affiliated New Thought Networks, New Thoughts for Today. And my book is starting to look used.
That's good. I like it like
a
that.
little used.
Can I say this is the third week in our love theme? We decided to not do love in February because it tends to be focused on the romantic love. Not that I don't love me some romantic love.
I know. Show off that ring. She's newly engaged.
I do love that. And there's so much more than that. And in order to have a romantic love, you need to have all the other parts too. You need to really understand that. So we decided to get ahead of it and do it in January. And that's what we're doing this month. So this is our third week talking about love in different ways.
Yes. So this one is on page 116. For 'tis love and love alone the world is seeking, and 'tis love and love alone that can repay. Rita Johnson Young, Victor Herbert. Ah, sweet mystery of life. Divine mind, the spirit of love is my only source. The supply is a constant, powerful source that delivers physical and spiritual nourishment to my mind and body. It is mine by the right of consciousness. I bless the people in my life. As old relationships end, I provide the opportunity for new interactions to flourish. I am surrounded by love. I embrace the reflection of my loving spirit. I accept the intelligence, strength, bountiful prosperity. Love that. Vibrant health and insight necessary to nurture the new expressions of love in my life. I am thankful for the support of God and the warmth of my new relationship that also improves as time progresses. I am loved and joyously share my love. God is the all-knowing spirit, everywhere present in the universal mind. The loving law of the spirit involves itself in the creation of every aspect of my material world. I put my word as my thought into this mental law, and my word evolves into physical form. I center myself in the divine flow and direct my thoughts to focus on what I truly require to manifest. I expand my awareness to pave the way for greater demonstration beyond my current impressions. I show appreciation in my every action and thought. I am surrounded by love. Reverend Dr. Celeste Turkin, Religious Science, Boca Raton, Florida.
Ooh, Florida.
Yes, I love Dr. Celeste. I'm surrounded by love.
We are. We really are. Even if you don't feel like that and you don't feel like you can say it, you still are. You are love. That
Right.
is what you are. You can put your blocks up against it. We all have done that. At least once throughout our lives, we have done that. And then we have to work to get rid of that. But we already are it. So we already have it everywhere. We just have to work to allow it, to allow ourselves to receive it, allow ourselves to be in the flow of it and give it back. It's whatever our journeys have been that have put up those walls or blocks or filters or whatever it is against it. That's our work now, is as we become aware to release those.
I just remember this. I think it was a meme where it was like the medicine to life's problems is love, and somebody said, "Well, what if it doesn't work?" give him more,
Mhm.
take more, you know.
Right.
And that is so true. You know, there are so many times where a problem comes up, or as they like to say, an opportunity, right? I love that, right? An opportunity comes up for us to express more love in a scenario. And what was that? I was listening to something. It was probably my positive intelligence stuff. And one of the questions that I was to keep in my mind during the day was, what is the gift in this thing that's annoying you or aggravating you or whatever? Like, it was like, okay, so this thing's happening. Now, what is the gift in that? And I must tell you that I despise that question. What is the gift in this? I'll give you a gift. I mean, like, seriously, like, who says that to a human? Like, what is the gift in this thing? There is no gift. My butt hurts, right? Like, I fell. Like, what's the gift? And sorry, that's my tirade there for the what's the gift comment. So since there was no one around to participate, only the mental committee in my brain, as we were having this discussion, there were some things coming up for me about the opportunities and gifts. And when you get aggravated about something, like, say, someone driving slow in front of you, what's the gift in that? Well, sometimes it's just to slow down and be mindful, right? And sometimes it really is just to be present and be aware of where you're at. And we were going somewhere Friday night, and it was just at that time period as the sun starts to set. And as we were going towards downtown Phoenix, I mean, our city is beautiful at sunset. Like, I just saw the city skyline, and I'm like, wow, that's beautiful, as I'm sitting in traffic because it's 6 o'clock on the 51 and the 10.
We tried to get on the freeway at that time.
Yeah,
of day.
so what was
That's where
the
I
gift? It really was a beautiful sight, and I got to be mindful on that. So
You have to ride into the sunset.
I did. I got to ride into
Crawl.
the sunset
We're crawling to the sunset.
in my Xterra.
Stop, go. Okay.
But so, like, bringing love to scenarios that aggravate you is one of those ways to take an opportunity and challenge and create a gift for yourself in that. And honestly, I don't remember the drive, but I do remember that picture of our city. And we actually talked about it like the next day. So that's the other thing, that keeping ourselves mindful and aware of love brings the memory, right, to us in a very different way.
Right. I love that. Even though we've all had moments where, I'm thinking I can speak for everyone, where we put our walls up or we've been hurt by love, I think probably everybody has had at least one time where we felt love, right? At least one time. So yeah, keeping that awareness. What was that like, and allowing yourself to not forget that that's there, that you can have that connection and that's there. And there's a lot of people that love you, but it's just like having the day that was amazing. And then you have the one thing that happens that's bad, and you call it a bad day. It's not a bad day. It was 10 minutes. The whole rest of the day was great. Why are you doing that? I don't know why we do that. We just do that. I don't know why, but having the awareness that we do that helps us to stop that and be like, no, it was 10 minutes. So yeah, that 10 minutes wasn't right, but the rest of the day was great. So it's like, having your whole body great, but your foot hurts. And all you're focusing on, my foot hurt, well, but the rest of your body is good. Why are you but that's your only focus? So yeah, we have, like, I created a page on Facebook called Humans Can Be Awesome. And I did that years ago. I don't know how long I've had that page. And I throw stuff to it whenever I see, something that comes across Facebook where humans are being awesome. I'll throw it over there. Because there was a time, I don't remember, I'll look up when I created that page. But during that time, there was a lot of posts about how people, this is exactly what people suck. I hate people.
Right.
I wish I wasn't a person. Like the things that people would say was just like, oh my gosh. And And the things they were posting, I could very easily have gone in that route and be like, you're right. This is awful, and be upset and angry. And I thought, that's not all that we are.
You can find that.
We're over here too. Which one do you want to see? Which one do you want to focus on? Because we all know as religious scientists, which one grows,
When you
right? Well, yes. So I don't want to focus on that, and I don't want to give them any of my energy. I want to look for the ones that are out there doing great things, that are sharing love. So I created that page in my response to that feeling of people don't suck. People can be amazing. People can be awesome. So I'm going to speak.
Bless you.
But people can be awesome. So if you ever need an uplift, go check out that feed, because that's all it is. Just every time I see, and it makes me feel good to have that page, because I do get those posts a lot now. I see a lot of that now, and I have somewhere to put it. You know, I have somewhere to send it.
Say the name of the page again.
Humans can be awesome. Yeah. So that's something.
Will you put that link in? She's always giving me links.
I always give her where I can do that. Yeah. But that's what I did in response to that, because I wanted more of that. I wanted to focus on it. I didn't want, what's that saying? I wish I had looked at that, but you may know it. Somebody may know it. The one about that Martin Luther King said, like, hate is too much of a burden to bear. I choose love instead. What's that? You know that saying, that quote by him? Really? No one in the room has heard. It's one of his most famous sayings. Hate is something, but like I can't do hate because it's too much to bear. I choose love instead, or something like that.
I think that's it.
Something like that.
I was gonna say
And that's kind of how I feel. I'll post that one too.
Okay, good.
But that's how I feel about that. I don't want to go down that negative path and just notice only every time someone's hurt me. I'm the kind of person that I'll get into the next love thing. Most of you that know me know that I spent 4 years in a relationship with somebody that was doing me wrong, right? And I could have easily come out of that and been like, no, thank you, and shut that off. And instead, when I came out of that, I opened up again to somebody else, and now I'm engaged. So it's like, I did not allow my heart. I went through stuff to release it. Not that I wasn't in pain and I didn't have to go through dealing with it. I did that, but I didn't like shut off the opportunity for it again. And I know a lot of people, in response to being hurt, they shut off instead, because it's a risk now. Oh, that hurts really bad. It hurts really bad. And I don't want anybody else ever to get to that place in me and have that opportunity. But then you don't ever get the opportunity for the love either. So it's like, I think what's your response? Like, your response is going to create one or the other. I'd rather create love. So I try to get through. I try to be as honest with my feelings as I can. I try not to stuff those, or I try to if it comes, it comes. I try to cry. Because I don't want those blocks in me. I love love.
I love love. You know, and I'm glad you brought that up about like how we can shut off when we're harmed. And you know, and love doesn't harm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That that person or that situation may have harmed us in a way that, you know, now makes us scared to be vulnerable to others, but love didn't do that. So, you know, that's
the greatest point right there.
Yeah.
Just put a pin in that right there.
right.
Right
Love
there.
didn't do that, because love only thinks about your highest and best and your happiness, right? That's what we're talking about with real love, right? Unconditional love only thinks about the highest and best. And with that, there's no harm. There's no harm in that. So
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
really wanted to, you know, and all right, and I got something else on that. You know, I had a relationship that ended poorly as well.
Yeah.
A decade or so ago. And I remember talking to my spiritual director at the time about it. And I was mad, you know, and I was very hurt. And I did this, and I believed this, and I was this, and I gave that, you know, and just did all that. And she said, you know, what you did out of love is not negated because of what they did. And that healed so much for me, because there's so many times that, and again, the way I was thinking was not real love, right? Because I was talking about tit for tat type of thing, right?
Which is natural.
Right.
That's how we've all been raised.
Right,
So,
because like I'm going to get, that's what a partnership is in most of our opinion. I give, you give, we, create together. And her saying that what I had done and gave and held wasn't negated because the other person didn't receive or behave the same way, allowed me to feel my own love in that situation. And, I wasn't quite over it with that conversation, let me tell you. It took a few more conversations.
there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers. Right?
Yeah, there really are.
And when we realize, so I want to unpack that for a second. When you're saying what's coming from you is not negated, we also need to realize that, so it's hard to, I'm trying to verbalize this thought. We are what's making that relationship good for us. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
We are doing that, not the other person really. It's really us. We're doing that. And so what I realized in my last one was that I'm the reason why he was so amazing to me. It was me, not him. It was me, because he wasn't really that. When we separated, I no longer had those feelings for him. I could see him clearly for what he truly was on his own, without me, without my energy to him, right? I'm not saying he's not good for somebody else or he's not going to heal. I'm not saying anything about him other than the way I saw him and the beauty and the love that was coming from me. So it's still mine.
Oh, I like that.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So I took that and I put that into a man that could receive it. And I got a different response, right? I got a different coming back to me, what I was giving out.
And that's the same with our children, our
100%.
friendships, our job. When we take that is us, right? That we are love. We are only love.
Yep.
That's all we are. Don't make me go back to the Buddha. I will tell the Buddha story again, right? Now I got to tell
You
it,
got to tell it
Now I
because
gotta
we
tell
don't
it,
know
right?
who's.
right? If they
Who's
know
here?
the Buddha
We don't know, but
story.
I like your. That's one of my
So-
favorite stories. Is the Buddha.
So hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, as they were coming in and ransacking this area, the Buddhist monks hid their golden Buddha, huge golden Buddha. They hid it under clay and dirt and everything so it wouldn't be stolen. And
They made it look like a clay Buddha.
like
They
a
made
clay
it-
Buddha.
Yeah.
And the people that were ravishing, say I should know more about it, but the general gist here. The army that was ravishing and stealing everything, stole everything of value except this Buddha and then killed off all the monks. So nobody knew this golden Buddha existed for hundreds and hundreds of years until now they're there and they're going to move it and somebody breaks something. I hate to have been that guy, right? And,
Or maybe that's
or
good.
maybe he was great, but I'm
They
sure
celebrate that guy. Look
I'm
what
sure
you
at
got.
one point he was like, whoops. So this piece of clay comes off of the Buddha and they start to realize that it's not made of clay and they see the gold, and I talk about this story because I so identify with the things that I put on myself to not be that golden Buddha, to not be that love, right? The things that I wear on myself that need to be released. And so I offer that to you to look at yourself as that golden Buddha, that love. And when we are not being that unconditional love in a scenario, whether it's work or our partnership or our children or the guy in front of us who's not from Arizona driving, like when these things happen, offer that love and realize that when you've had that emotion or that reaction, that this is just the clay that needs to be released. You know, you are love. You are love. I mean, you can only be love. You can only be God's stuff, and God is love. He had nothing else to make you from. So remember
Yeah, you can put
that.
all the clay you want on it.
That's right.
You can't change it.
Exactly.
You can't change what you're made of. You can't change where you come from. You can't change who your source, what your source is. You can't change it.
Right.
You can try to ignore it. You can try to hide from it. You can be mad at it. You can do. My mom spent years being mad at God for something. She was so mad. She told God, "I'm never talking to you again." That's what she said. And then when she got pregnant with me, she was like, "Okay, look, I'm going to talk to you, but this baby better." The first, she lost her first baby. So when that happened, she said she was so angry. She said, "I'm never talking to you again." And she didn't for a long time. And then when she got pregnant with me, she said, "I'm going to give you one more chance." So those of you who knew my mother, woo, that's a mighty woman. But she said to God, "I'll give you one more chance, but I'll never, if this baby doesn't come, doesn't come to life,
And then look what she got.
I'm never doing this. I'm never going to be with you again. I'll never talk to you again." And of course, here I am. But yeah, so she said she used to tell that story about. I'm like, "Wow, Mom, whew, thank God,
A lot
God
of
didn't."
pressure.
A lot of pressure on me. A little bit of pressure on me, But you can't. People do that though. They get so angry at God.
For something that they felt harmed in.
Yes.
Right. We, no matter how people walk around on this planet, right? How intimidating they look, how tough they look or try to be, right? We're all just like mushy little God balls.
We are mushy.
We're mushy little God balls, right?
I think we are.
Like, now I want Chinese food.
Stop it.
I love
Stop
those
it.
buns with the mung in. Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
What are you doing here?
As a mushy little guy, right? I'm all like vulnerable and just cute, like that little puppy.
Oh.
And so, like, when you think about puppies and kittens and babies, right? Mushy little godballs that they are, even if they poop somewhere they're not supposed to, you still love them, right? You still love them, and you clean up the mess, and you might point it out. No, we don't do that there, right? And yet the love is still there, and you're not holding it against them 10 minutes later or an hour or a week or their first high school date, telling their date about it.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on a second now.
I'm just saying, don't do that,
I
Mom.
think I should be allowed to do that.
Right?
No?
We are giving them that love. So regardless of that intimidation that comes across, or
What about when they get married? Can I do it at the wedding? Can I put on? No, still no. Dang it! I know good stuff though. For all my kids, I got good
you
stuff.
got good stuff, huh? I'm
But
sure.
no, I can't use
Mom,
it, huh?
Mom, you're the next one to get married,
Oh,
and
yeah, they don't want to eat.
and
my
they have
parents
a
are
lot of
alive,
good
so my-
stuff.
Yeah, they have good stuff.
They have good stuff too. So just keep that in mind.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm in
That's
a
it.
silly mood. This energy in here is great.
It is good energy. It's
I
good.
love it.
Mushy godball
I
energy.
feel love.
That's new.
I
That's
love
a
it.
new whole saying there.
I
I think
Mushy
she needs to
godball.
write a book. Mushy Godball.
Right? It's like, what's your
We're
name?
just a bunch of mushy God.
Mushy godballs. Some are bouncy, some are flat.
Right, and I think that's our work. That's our work to remember that in the different situations. Like even my mom losing that first child, so she deemed that as something bad, and most women would, right? Most women don't carry a baby for 9 months and expect it not to be there 2 days after it's born. So this is like, that's a hard thing. At the same time, I think about our dear friend Cerise, who lost a baby, very similar to my mother.
My daughter, Leslie.
Yeah. And Cerise said to me, which I wish, I think I did talk to my mom about this, I'm trying to remember. But anyway, she said to me after she had healed from that and got some awareness for herself around it, she said, and I know she said it to many people, that baby did live. He lived 42 weeks in my body, with me in my body.
That's right.
That was his life. And he didn't need nothing he needed to do more. Didn't need any more to do. And I thought, oh my gosh, what an awareness. We're the ones that are deciding the life of another human being. They are alive. My brother did live in my mom's body that whole time, and he also was overdue too, like about 42 weeks. So he did have that was his full life. That's all he needed to do. And it set my mother on whatever path it set her on. It was just for her. And there was other people. My grandmother had an effect from him too. So I think when I think about that, it's like we're still deeming those things a certain way. We are causing ourselves that pain from our thoughts. Our thinking is what's creating these things for us. And if we can manage the thinking, if we can stay present and manage
Oh my
the thinking.
goodness. Are you saying if we can find the gift?
I know. Did I tell you that's what I do? I am the one that says that. Where's the gift? There's always a side of it for you, but you can choose to look at the other side if you
You
want.
can tell she's not the one I call, right?
Not the first caller.
Not the first call. Yeah.
Not if you want to cry. Even
Yeah.
my fiance will say, like he tends to go to the negative sometimes, and I'll say, or it could be blah blah blah. And he'll go, you're right. Didn't think you're right. Thank you
I'll
for
take
that. Thank you
that.
for that. Thank you for that. And I said, yeah, because we don't want to be creating from there. I don't want to create from there. I want to create from over here.
Right.
So it's a constant practice.
Right. And
all over and over.
it's a constant mindfulness, you know,
So much.
remembering and beginning within
Yes.
and remembering to be mindful. I was watching a comedian this morning talk about, and he was a Generation Xer, and he's like talking about, you know, growing up, they didn't say mindfulness in my generation. You know why? Because when you were on the bus, you were on the bus. When you were in the bathroom, you were in the bathroom. You know, like, you know, you didn't have any other thing to take you away. You know, you didn't have that little, you weren't hooked up to the World Wide Web, you know, like you were there. And I thought about how true that is. Like you spent a lot of time with yourself, right? You were waiting in line. You were waiting in line. You were doing the thing of whatever. And,
Wow, what an awareness.
right? Well, you know, they have this thing called quiet walking. Have you heard about this? Yeah. This is where you don't put anything in your ears and you walk.
Like in the old days.
This is a thing.
Sometimes I do that at the gym if I forget my earbuds. I do that,
You do that.
and it's amazing.
It's amazing.
You know, I know. She was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right?
But there's a thing called mind wandering. Just sitting there. They used to do that back in the olden days.
Back in the olden days.
Because they had nothing else to do.
We were so creative and imaginative back then.
They
Yeah.
just sit on the swing. Yep, letting their mind wander. Yep, over here.
I
Exactly.
think we were more present.
That's
were
the-
more
that's yeah,
present.
that's amazing. I had never thought about that before, but that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
They were doing the thing they were actually doing, not
And that's why
that's
we
an
were-
awareness.
That's why we were more creative liars too as children. We had plenty of time to plan it. These kids today, not only do they not have time to plan it, but they videotape it. So I'm just saying, there's a reason.
Oh yeah.
We need to teach mindfulness to our youth so they can get away with more.
No, true. She's joking.
She always has to apologize for me with her kids, right? I told you guys about how I taught them how to shove more stuff in the trash can so they didn't have to take the trash out. Items taught by Reverend Jeannie. There's going to be a whole book on it.
There's gonna be a whole book on it. We're collecting things. I like your little coaster. What's going on with that? How come I don't have one?
I don't know. This came off the little table.
Oh.
So, because if we forget to
Whatever.
use
You're just a
coasters,
favorite around here, apparently.
then when we forget to use coasters, then we have to like dust and clean our table.
Oh, I don't like that. Okay, I'll use the curse. I use my book.
You used your book there. I feel like people want to talk about this.
I love it. Do we have any comments in the gallery?
There we go.
True.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
I will say that after my second divorce, and it was ended very violently, and he actually came to my workplace with a gun. And we had a restraining order and everything, and it was very scary for me. And I put, I always said, I put a lock on my heart. I put chains around the lock. I put a steel wall up in front of the chains. And if you could get through that door, then I would like you, you know? And for a long time, I operated like that. And there wasn't many people that could get through that door. And I found New Thought, and I had to, I took the wall down and the chains off and the locks off, little by little by little, until my heart was so open. I think I had something I did when those name tests on the Facebook, and it said, "My heart is as big as the universe," and I believe that to be true.
Absolutely.
I love that. Cindy. Love that.
Did you have something, Anna?
Well, I was mentioning about the fact that last night I was at Feed the Starving Children.
Right.
And it was funny because, you kind of select what role you're going to play. There's like 4 different roles you can play. And this fellow came over and sat down and immediately started asking me questions about myself. And my first response in my head was, shut up. I'm not here to tell you about my life. And then I paused for a minute and it's like, no, wait a minute. I want to be here to express love. I mean, that's the whole reason that I showed up. And what ended up happening was he ended up being this delightful table partner that learned a whole bunch about the 2 people he was sitting with.
Aw.
And his whole family was there. They were doing other stuff though, because he was somewhat disabled. So he had to be sitting at the table. And at the end of the night, I said to him, Dan, I just want to thank you for how warm and friendly you are. You really made this a wonderful experience. And on the way home, I said to myself, good girl.
Yeah.
You shifted because like initially you got your walls up. It's like, I'm not going to tell you about myself. And I realized pretty early on that there was a lot of things about myself I probably wouldn't want to share with him. Very conservative man, but a lovely experience. And I just felt like shifting that was a powerful move for me, given how much depression and stuff I've been dealing with. So it's like I can feel myself opening up again. And of course, what's happening is there's all these good things in my life happening. So
Yes.
yay.
Oh, great sharing. Thank you so much.
And then Marilyn.
I had an experience on Thursday night. I was on my way to another job where I was going to be there for 4 hours at 4 o'clock in rush hour traffic. And I was in a hurry and I was starving and I had to get something to eat. So I stopped at Circle K and there was a sign at the door, back in a few minutes. And I thought, who does that at Circle K? And there was a bunch of other people waiting outside. And so I just kind of got angry and turned around to walk away. And just then the lady inside opened the door. And I guess she saw my anger. And she said, I'm sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. And that shifted me on a dime. She said, I'm the only one here. And sometimes you got to go. And I realized that you never know what circumstance.
Right.
So I had to shift on a dime and realize that she was entitled to go to the bathroom. What other choice did she have?
Right.
So sometimes you just have to sit and pay attention to the circumstance and shift. And it shifted me from the thinking of, she's doing this to me to, she needs to do what she needs to do for herself.
Right. These are great. Thank you for sharing these awarenesses.
I want to speak to the affirmation. I am surrounded by love. And that's one of my favorite affirmations. I've used it for years and years and years. And there was a time when I moved to Phoenix. Sorry, I knew no one. I did not know a soul when I moved here. And so for me to think, to see friends or family or whatever, and think I'm surrounded by love, I couldn't think that. But I went a little deeper and I recognized that the divine God is love in everything. And so the air I breathed, I was surrounded by love.
Yes.
The beauty of the desert in the springtime, I was surrounded by love. When my dogs curled up on my lap, I was surrounded by love.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that awareness that it's in all of our surroundings too. Thank you, Marilyn, for that awareness. Oh my goodness. These are like the best sharings ever.
I told you I felt it. I was feeling it,
I love it.
right? I mean, and I love that part about being surrounded by love, the air.
The air, yeah,
Right.
the air alone is, that's God's love right
Right.
there. Like, I'm gonna give you some air.
That
That's
is,
huge.
right, because that's, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
My love.
we are being breathed by love.
Tara says
Yeah.
that.
I
You
love
don't have
it.
to try, it just happens.
Exactly.
Right.
Tara said you don't have to try, it just happens.
people.
And how amazing is that, right? When we think about that experience of love, that you don't even have to try, it's just happening, right? All the time, always, wherever you are, in every situation, regardless of how you're feeling or thinking about yourself or others or the conditions, it is constant.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. And when you forget about it, when you're asleep, right? When you're not even thinking,
Still there.
it's still there.
And you know, to Marilyn's point too, I think I said this last week, but I'm gonna use it in a different way. I think I said this last week. I don't know if I did or didn't, but we were talking about, was talking about, somebody.
She talks to a lot of people.
I do. I have a lot of conversations, but if there was somebody that has a story about, I want to say this was Mary Manon Morrissey, that has a story about when she was so sick. Did I share this last week? It was when she was so sick, and then the person said to her, her body hurt everywhere, everything hurt, and the person said, "Is there anywhere on your body that doesn't hurt?" And she, sarcastically said, "Yeah, my pinky toe. Pinky toe doesn't hurt." And she was like, "Well, then focus there, focus there." And that's what you did, Marilyn. You said, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. Wait a minute. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna focus on that, because what do I get more of? I don't want more of that. I wanna focus on, where is that love? Where can I see it? Like, even if it's just in the trees, if it's just in my breath, if it's just in the puppies, if it's just in, focus there, because you will make more of it from that, right? I
And look
love
what I
that.
got.
And look at,
Right?
look
And
at
look what you got.
Look
Oh, we
at
got more.
Yeah.
Very good, true.
That's a beautiful awareness, because I'm sure people that are in this room and listening have those moments where we don't feel that. I mean, you can have that at any time. Just somebody can be mean to you and you suddenly feel that way. And then you have to go, wait a minute, but I do have, that's one person. That's one moment. I have all this other stuff I can focus on. So yeah.
This is exactly the reason I come here. I'm a hard nut to crack. I grew up in kind of less than a loving situation. And I was very cynical and still have a bunch of cynicism in me. But when you find what you need, I'm willing to drive an hour to get here every Sunday. So it's 2 hours of my Sunday to come here, plus the hour I'm here, 3 hours that I'm on my day off.
Yeah.
And it's the reason I come, because I realize that there is more out there, and it's opening me up to what's out there besides this plus what's out in the world. So thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Debbie.
that's beautiful. And that's why we're here too, because we felt this calling
Right.
to create this and to have this.
And to have, right. And, you know.
Thanks for our being brave, because that was scary in the beginning.
It was scary. We were talking about how stiff we were when we first started. And,
Go back and look at a year ago how we were.
Right.
Like, oh,
we
now
were
it's
very,
hey, so
so it was like, what's happening? But I love that because, well, first I have to give a shout out to Ernest Holmes. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday!
Oh, we love us some Ernest Holmes,
So-
the founder of Religious Science.
So one of the things about Ernest Holmes at the end of his life, he talked about, somebody asked, one of those esoterical questions about the world. And Ernest's response was,
it was something about what would you have done differently or along those lines. And he said, I would have focused more on love than the law. And
Meaning the law of
the law of mind.
right. So yeah, if you're not a religious scientist and you don't understand that,
But
just
you might
reach
know
out
the
to us
law.
and we'll help you
Yeah.
out with that.
Yeah. So the law of mind that, and
The
we've
rules.
been talking
The
about
rules.
that too.
That's how it
The law of
Mhm.
mind, the law, there's a law of attraction, the law of reciprocation. There's
Yeah.
a lot of
All the
there's
laws.
all the laws.
All the
There's the
rules.
law of
the
gravity,
rules.
those things,
Right.
the laws that operate our universe. And Ernest Holmes was very, and it's called religious science for a reason, right? It was very scientific about if you do this and you do these things in this way, then you'll have this result.
Right. He wanted to
And-
prove it. He
Yeah.
did.
And
Religion through science.
throughout our textbook, it talks about you don't have to believe me. Go out and experiment on your own. So when asked that question, you could see why he would say, at the end of the life, because at end of life, what do we think about, right? And not that his teachings are beautiful. Do not get me wrong. And I know he has helped many, everybody in this room and out there. But he would have focused on love more. And that struck me. The first time I ever heard that was that, knowing that this is the thing that moves mountains, right? This love is that operating law in the universe that moves things for us, right? That can shift things when we look at through the eyes of love. When we look at life through the eyes of love, we can shift all those ideas that we get in, like when Evie was talking about the lady going to the bathroom and shutting the door. I've been that person at Circle K, actually. Being like, I don't know, is it a good time? I gotta lock the door, but just being able to see the world through a different perspective, an outside perspective, a unity perspective that we are all one. And when we look there, then we feel that love.
I just had this awareness when you were saying that whenever we talk about being present and moving from the present moment, right? I will say things like, if you can tell when you're not present, because you'll have these other emotions, right? You'll feel, if you're going to the past, sad, bad, mad, right? If you're in the future, you've got anxiety, worry, fear, whatever. And if you're present, you'll feel peace and calm. You know what though? You're feel love. And I've never added love there. But that is it, isn't it? That's the peace and the calm. And when you feel real love, when you are connected, God is in the I am. God is in the present moment. God's not, God's present. You're in love. You're moving in love. And wow, that's like a huge awareness from what you just said.
I love that. Yeah.
If you make your moves from love, they're going to be the
That
right moves. They're
That
gonna be the
might
right
be
moves.
our theme this year.
Make your moves from love, people.
That's right. Make your moves from love.
Make your moves from love. I love that.
Right.
That's a huge awareness because I have used that in my coaching and my business coaching, and I've used that for years. And I've never put love in any of it. I've never added love, and I've always felt like it was like, oh yeah, you just feel peace and calm, and it just felt weird. But it's actually you're just moving from love is what you're doing.
And
How funny.
so what just came up for me when you said that, I think that, outside of your spiritual tribe or your intimate relationships, right? So let's take it to the grocery store or your job or whatever like that. And we're saying we're moving from love. So now that is probably where the litmus test actually is, right? Because this person has no reason to return love, right? I mean,
Don't need one.
exactly. You don't need one. And how we were talking about before, when we lock our hearts up and stuff like that, that's because we had wanted a reciprocal relationship, right?
But love, unconditional love, is not reciprocal.
It's not right.
There's
It
it,
has
yeah.
nothing to do with
Reason
that.
was the fall of man, right?
Reason was the fall of man. Yeah. Right. Because there is no reason. Love just is.
Yeah.
And that,
Wow.
and it's a harder one to remember.
Yeah.
You know.
It's crazy.
If we're not coming from love, we're not in the present moment.
Mind blown.
I can't even think now. My head's just,
Yeah, it's like, wow.
my head's going through every little thing. Like, yep, check. Yep, that's right. That works. That works. Every scenario, yes, every scenario.
There we go. Wow.
I love it.
It's been an amazing conversation. Any
So good.
any final thoughts out here? Anything else?
I know, epiphanies. That's-
I'm feeling all loved.
I know. I feel.
Mm.
I feel love. Lots of love.
Yeah, I do too. Very loving in this room.
All right, here we go.
So, in this love bubble that we have created, knowing that there is one presence, one power, one life, one breath, one heartbeat, one love. And that this one is me. And is everyone in this room and within the sound of my voice and beyond. This is all there is. So I speak my word into the law for the highest and best good of each and every person that is here right now, that hears this later, and for everyone that they love. And for everyone that they love, and that they love, to infinity, knowing that this love is just one, and that we are swimming in this, that it surrounds us, that I am surrounded by love always, that I breathe it in, it is in my cells. And this love moves and has its being as me, as each of us. And for this, I am so grateful. I'm grateful for this time together, for everything that we received, knowing that it will continue to blossom as we go forth this day. And so I let it go. I call it good. And together we say,
And
so it is.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
1 second trip.
Well, we thank you for being here. Hang on, Sean.
He's ready to do his job. He's
He's
so good. at
He's
his
on
job.
top of
I
it,
love it.
Right? We're grateful that you joined us here today. If you would like to support us, you know the drill, but if you're new, we're going to tell you. The first thing that you want to do is share us. Share us with your friends. Share this on your page. Let people know that we are here and that we love them.
And let Facebook know by doing that we're
Right.
here, and Facebook will help share us too.
That's right, because Facebook needs the love.
They don't. They
They need it in their algorithm for
Their
us.
algorithm. Yes, share us.
Share us, comment, go to our page. If you're watching us on Instagram or YouTube, please visit our Facebook group as well. We appreciate
It's
that.
on our Sofa Sundays. Very simple. And hi to everybody that's on the feed. We can't
We
read your comments
can't
from
read,
here,
but I
but we'll
see
get on there
hearts.
soon. We can see the heart.
And visit our updated website, www.beginwithinministries.com,
So good.
and check out our website. And also, if you would like to support us financially, you can go to beginwithinministries.com. There's an opportunity to do that. You can do a one-time donation. If you would like to become a Spiritual Church Club partner, that is $45 a month or $75 for a couple, or you get 2 months free if you pay for the whole year.
That's right. And that's what supports us financially so that we can do more things with our Spiritual Church Club partners. Just like we have our cards, we have our coffee mugs that everybody gets that's a partner. And this is how we grow our church. We have big plans for Begin Within Ministries and Sofa Sundays. We want our own bigger facility. We want youth groups. We want all kinds of things. So the more partners we have, the faster that we can get there.
There we go.
So that's it, I think, for us today, boys and girls.
That is. Thank you so much, and
Thanks
we'll
for
see you
everyone
next
who's
week.
Person. Bye.